Hey viewers, welcome to Chunner Checks It Out. My name's Chunner, and in this video, newest chapter of One Piece 1171 that just came out today, January 18th, 2026. The manga is one arc ahead of the anime, so if you are anime only, this is going to be a reaction to the newest manga chapter, so I probably wouldn't watch this unless you want to watch some spoilers. I'm going to be trying out a new format where you watch me read it. So it's going to be a more real-time reaction. In the last chapter, we saw Loki get a hold of Ragnir. Ragnir was the hammer. Loki was able to beat Ragnir, and now he controls Ragnir, and he ate the devil fruit that the Elbaf Kingdom had and was holding. And it looked like he was able to turn into some sort of fire horse, Hafnir, or I'm not really sure. There have been a couple legendary Zoan type fruit horse types, and so I'm not exactly sure which one this is. They did just show kind of a silhouette of it. It seemed to be along the lines of some sort of fire horse. An extreme amount of Supreme King Haki. Loki was able to beat back Harold. I'm assuming that we are now going to go back into the current time of the God Knights attacking Elbaf. Here I have a iPad mini that I usually read my manga on. Yo. Let's check it out. Chapter 1171, Ragnir. So we have a cat Zoro looking in the mirror with a cat on top of him. Reader requests Zolo, which I feel like I'm not sure why they haven't fixed that yet. Zolo versus Zoro. Reader requests Zolo being given a cat ear headband by a cat by Ura Nekoko. And it looks like he's just on a ship with a cat ears and the cat headband or cat on top of him. Looks like this will be a normal chapter of 16 pages. And let's go ahead and check it out. I had a terrible vision, plain as day. Who is this? This looks like some kind of killer person or somebody with a bandage covering their right eye. I had a terrible vision, plain as day, of Harold venturing forth from this castle and laying waste to the world until it was nothing but ruins. Oh, this is Scooper Gabbin. He has some injuries over his, looks like, right eye, above his right eye. It's hard to imagine, with the way his wounds healed themselves, that there was actually a means to stop him. So yeah, they used lots of Supreme King Haki to, I'm assuming, stop Harold. Does the treasure of Elbaf really have such power, Ja Rule? Ja Rule is the guy with the sword through his head. Not that I have heard, but it chills my spine to think of what might have happened had Loki not been here. We also have Shanks here as well. Once I am in the Knights of God, dawn will come to Elbaf. So this is a little flashback. Speak your desire, and whatever it is, you shall have it. You've been so deprived, my poor son. And this looks like Shamrock telling Shanks. Those miserable peons are not people. Forget what happened to the lower world. Shanks, hey Shanks, no, stop it. So Shanks is having some kind of PSD, and Scooper Gabbin is trying to soul his spirit along with talking to Ja Rule in the castle after they've defeated Harold. That's your bad habit again, Scooper Gabbin said. Don't you dare regret your birth. But why did Harold have to die? He was too pure-hearted to deserve that. If only I'd... It's not your fault, and you know it. You still have a role to play, Shanks, I guarantee it. Everyone's life has meaning, but you have to keep a level head. So this is Scooper Gabbin talking to Shanks, and it looks like Shanks is questioning his birth origins and birthright, and Scooper Gabbin trying to console him. This is what he gets. It's a cruel joke, says Loki. This is what he gets for loving his country. It's a double spread. And okay, so this must be Harold covered in a coat. Loki's coat to cover his upper body remains. And I'm not exactly still sure how that works. The extreme Supreme King Haki just damages them so they can't repair themselves? That was an exceedingly rare ancient giant warrior. That was Ragnar. He was talking about Ragnar. Even greater power and immortal body. So this is Emu talking in Mary Joy. That was nothing short of monster, and thou savest it was killed? By whom? What is an Elbaf? So Emu doesn't know about Loki being an Elbaf. We shall have it investigated. Harold's abyss in Elbaf remains intact. So this is Emu addressing the 5 elders. It will only be the death of more knights. Performing the covenant inflicts a cost upon Mu as well. Performing the covenant inflicts a cost upon Mu as well. So it expends his energy to turn people into the Depths Covenant, giving them the tattoo and the immortal power. That makes sense. Harold chose to debase himself before humankind, to connect his country to other lands and peoples. This made him a heretic. His are a tribe of warriors whose every drop of blood calls out for battle. Carelessly incorporating them into the government will lead to internal collapse. An ancient giant, king of Elbaf, who agrees to the covenant, is a gift to Mu, the likes of which shall not be seen again. He was a king that Elbaf never should have had. And see what came of it? History does not lie. Our kind are incompatible. Never forget that Elbaf is D. Okay, so Elbaf is part of the D kingdom, and Emu wanted Harold because they're giants. Regenerating giants, why not have those people in your army just like they're doing in current times? Loki, this news will lead to great unrest in the kingdom. I'm going out to sea, Gramps. I'll take all the surviving guards with me. And what of Harold's wishes? Tell the people of Elbaf exactly what happened here. You know I can't tell them. Listen closely. Okay, so Loki's scheming here. He wants to save the people and take the guards out to sea with him. Don't speak a word of what happened here to anyone. Do you understand who they'll blame for it? How's that any different than usual? Do you really see a future where I become king and carry on my old man's ideals? But there are other ways I can live up to him. So Loki already knows that people don't like him. Half the country doesn't like him. Maybe even more than that. I'll take the powers I have and go avenge my dad and his soldiers. Alright, so Loki wants to go out to sea and defeat Mu. Now you're talking nonsense, Loki. The world government is a colossal organization. It's a task far beyond anything you can imagine. A disaster, terrible misfortune. Aura's castle has been attacked, Your Majesty. So I sailed right off the island. I'm sure that by the time you return home, Harojin, I've been fully transformed into Loki the Father Slayer in the public's eye. I certainly did enough to convince them I was capable of it. However, okay, so now we're back to present time and Loki is talking to Harojin. I'm not so far gone that I'd celebrate killing my dad. I just didn't want everything he did to be undone because of what happened in the end. Or do you still think I should have told the country everything? Scooper Gavin's there. It's all true, Harojin. Do you get it now? I didn't want to have to dredge this all back up. Alright, so Loki's still in chains here. I thought they unchained all of him except for his one leg, or they rechained him. I now understand why Chief Jarul argued for your clemency and continued to protect you. In short, Father chose death over the manipulations of the world government. And ever since then, the government has been Elbaf's enemy. How did they manipulate him like that? As a matter of fact, these newly arrived Holy Knights of God played a pivotal role in Harold's story. But Loki still doesn't know exactly what happened to Harold. In the Holy Land, and this is Harojin's crew here is with him. If you need more details, I can explain. That won't be necessary for now, Mr. Ya. I don't need a reason to protect my homeland. Alright, so they're deciding what the next step is, as we're back in present time. If we see eye to eye about anything, Loki is love for our father. Allow me to apologize for that, if nothing else. Now fight with me for Elbaf's sake. Alright, that was kind of a empowering line. I could see that in the anime going off with Harrigan. Now fight with me for Elbaf's sake. Yeah, way to go, Loki. Now you can fight. Alright, Luffy's happy for him. And we have some action in the background. And the dreams, I believe. The Skeleton Knight is a huge, towering thing. Much bigger than the giants towering in the sky. Where did it come from? Is that Dragor? But those aren't real. Sounds like the perfect warm-up. You go on ahead. I can fly up. What is this thing? What's going on up there? Make it snappy, Harrigan. Alright, so they're deciding that they want to fight along with Luffy, Loki, and Harrigan's crew. Okay, another double spread here. That's it. That's what's raging above us. There's a whole bunch of them. We used to think you were a real bastard who killed his own father. Sorry about that. Of course, Harrigan's crew is going to apologize. But it's been 15 years. But only for this one thing. All of your many other crimes still count. Just shut up and go. No one asked you to say all of this. Ah, this is amazing. I can move again. I'm free. So they've unchained him, and he's going to fight the Dragur, which are the nightmares of the children that one of the God Knights was able to, that was their ability, if I remember. Hey, Ship Doctor, I appreciate your help, but I'm concerned about my son. Oh, right, sure. Nice and gentle, Sanji. Yeah, I know. Weren't you going to stay here? What are you doing up here? Heh. I want to see you fight. Alright then, show off your power, Ragnar. Alright, so Loki's got Ragnar with him now, and he's going up against the Dragnir. Nimbleheim. That's like German. Wow. Alright, and so that's the end of that. The next chapter looks like is coming in 2 weeks, as has been the last few traditions of chapters. Yeah, we're basically just going back to present time, and we see Harrigan now understands Loki's story, and they've all decided to fight the Dragnur. Yeah, I'm wondering what's going to happen now that we've got Luffy and Loki, both with Supreme King Haki, and Scooper Gabbin. I think, yeah, Scooper Gabbin was there. So we have these three who are now able to apply an extreme amount of Supreme King Haki to fight now who are under Imu's control. Not necessarily the Dragnir. I'm sure the Dragnir are going to have some way to fight them as well. But we saw that, wow, I forgot what their names were. And season 2 is coming out. What is their names? Dory and Bragi. Gabba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Those knights were taken over by Imu. And so now, and probably some of the rest of the giants as well, were taken over by Imu and are now under Imu's control. So we're going to need to unleash some extreme Supreme King Haki to get them back under control. Yeah, kind of more of a setup episode to get back into the present after that backstory, and then the backstory of God Valley and everything that happened with Shanks and why Shanks decided that he needed to lose his arm because he had the tattoo. He saved Luffy and intentionally let the sea monster chop off his arm, which is why he says that's just an arm. Very, very interesting in some of the previous chapters. But in this chapter, yeah, we're just getting back to the actual present. Elbaf being attacked. A good, let's get back into its story. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.